You won't become a millionaire unless you learn how to not allow your personal problems affect your work. Someone on my team who's been around with me for a long time. That person been part of the team for a long time. One of the very like the first half a dozen people that were hired, been in the company for about 5+ years now. This person is a high achiever, incredible person, incredible human being. The problem that person has is that every time something happens in their life, in their personal life, it makes its way into their professional life, their work life. And what I've learned is that the people who are able to make a divide between work and personal life are those that actually are going to succeed. And what I've realized is many times team members, probably hired and fired a few hundred people over the last decade or so through different businesses. I've founded 9 different businesses. I've been involved in, invested, and so on, about 17 businesses in total. And I've seen several hundred people. And what I've realized is that people who are able to make it at the highest level are able to create separation between work life and home life. And especially your home life, your personal life, usually is the more dramatic. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to, let's just say, Roweda, my wife, says something, I say something to her, we're fighting, my parents bug me, whatever, something happens. I bring that over to my business life. And the way that I bring it over is I become snappy with my team, I become distracted, it takes over my mindset or whatever. I become emotional. I become depressed, I become stressed, and vice versa, right? You don't want to bring your professional life into your home life. Example, someone in my team frustrates me, I fire somebody, an ad account gets taken down, my Instagram page gets taken down, which happened many times, something happens, whatever, and I go and I take it out on Roweda, right? You never want to do neither. But especially if you want to professionally succeed and you want to become a millionaire, you're looking to make your first $1 million, scale your business, whatever. And every time something happens in your professional life, it takes away from your focus in your from your personal life, takes away from your focus in your professional life. You'll never be able to make it that way. And I've noticed and I've seen that person. Now, honestly, I made that post because of that person. I had about a 30-45 minute conversation with that person, and the struggle that I have with that person is, again, they are an incredible team member. The problem that I have with that person is that every 45 days, I have to kind of like reset that person and bring them back to like focus because something happens in their personal life that they threw them off. And usually I see signs like they're not proactive, they're not bringing new ideas, they are holding back on new stuff. Their energy just isn't there. Because the thing that I noticed, especially about me being a leader, is that my team feeds off of my energy. My followers feed off of my energy. My community feeds off of my energy. And so if I'm not showing up at the highest level, they're going to take that energy and then that's going to be dispersed across the entire company and across the entire organization. And so it is my responsibility as a leader to always show up at the highest level. And same thing with you. If you are trying to be a great leader for your team, for your business, for your family, you have to always show up on your A game. And yes, you do have the what's the word that I'm looking for? You should have the license, or not the license. You should be allowed to feel down. You should be allowed to, grief. You should be allowed to have downtime and stuff like that. But it can't be all the time. Example, last week I traveled to Iraq. Many of you guys maybe know that, you follow me, whatever. And I spent probably about, I don't know, maybe like about 8 days. So the entire trip was 8 days. I traveled Wednesday and I came back Friday. And it was jam-packed. I went to 2 countries, about a dozen different cities. There was a wedding in Turkey. Then we went to Iraq. I visited my brother that I haven't seen in 15 years. I saw his kids that I've never met. Then I went to like the village where we're from. Well, just so much that happened in 8 days. Since I've been to America, I've been in America for 19 years. I've never had an overseas trip. Since I've started my business, I've never had a vacation. This wasn't really a vacation. It was more of like just a very impactful trip, right? It was a meaningful, impactful trip. It's not like I was on the beach hanging out. and we have two big launches happening in the company, and guess what? I wasn't really around much. I wasn't having a whole lot of meetings, although I made sure that nothing was waiting on me. I had finished all of my to-dos. No one was waiting on anything on me, but the team gave me, like, allowed me the time to go and be there and travel, because all the other for the last 6 years that I've had BJK University, I've always been there. I've always showed up, right? And so I was allowed to have that time away, right? But if you are always, every 30 days, 60 days, 3 months, 6 months, every time something happens in your life, it leaks into your professional life, people are going to probably get fed up with you and be like, hey man, like, we just can't work this way, right? And even if other people don't get it fed up with you because maybe they have low standard, maybe they don't care, maybe you don't have anybody else that you work with, your results are never going to get to the point where you want them to get to, because you're like, what's happening is you are going up and down, right? It's a zigzag. It's up and down. You are high when everything's clean, and then the minute something happens in your personal life, you go on a low. And then, it takes you, say, whatever, a few days, a couple of weeks to get back up, and then you get back up, something happens, and then you go down. And let's face it, shit's gonna happen all the time, but if you don't learn how to continue, at least, maybe not go up, but at least cruise, but not decline every time something happens in your personal life. A loved one passes away, which will happen. Your kid does something in school, gets suspended, your wife or your husband gets into a fight with you, someone in your family says something to you, or whatever happens, health issues, whatever. If you allow any little thing that happens in your personal life leak into your professional life and allow that to take over your emotions and stuff like that, man, you will never be able to accomplish your goals. And trust me when I say, I have experienced it firsthand, because I used to allow that stuff to hold me back, to kind of derail me from my goals, derail me from where I was trying to get to. And I was never, ever, ever able to get to my goals until I made separation where, listen, shit's going to happen in my personal life all the damn time. And that's okay. And there are some things that I'm going to feel like shit about it, but I cannot allow that to leak into my professional life and into how I react and how I show up for my business, for my team, for everybody else around me, right? So that's very important. And if you don't know how to create separation, because you're like, okay, Bashar, I got it. I understand. I can't allow my personal problems leak into my business, my work, okay? How do I create that separation? Because when shit happens in my home, when I'm fighting with my spouse, when my kid is fucking up, when whatever, it's like I can't help but feel like shit. So how do I make sure that that does not impact my performance negatively? Well, a few things that I personally do, and maybe you can learn from. Maybe there are things that are different for you. I don't know. What I do personally is that I like to do what I like to call preventative measures versus reactive measures. Preventative measures is like you're always showing up as if something might happen, and because something might happen, I'm going to prevent it, right? Or if and when something does happen, it doesn't impact me too strongly. So what I do is, number one, I try to always keep myself centered. And so the way that I do that is a quick meditation in the morning, 2 to 3 minutes every morning. I try every morning, but it doesn't always happen that way. There is this exercise, and if you're like, I've done meditation before, it doesn't work, whatever, I get it. It's also difficult for me. There is this exercise. It combines two things: meditation and breathing. Breathing is very important. Like you probably have heard of breath work. Breath work is very important because what it does is it drives a big influx of oxygen into your brain, and then when you drive a lot of oxygen to your brain, you're able to actually function a lot better. And so it's a combination of meditation and breathing. What you do is you inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. So I am inhaling and I'm counting to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously a lot slower. You do that 5 times in the morning. It'll take you like maybe 90 seconds. What that will do drive a lot of oxygen to your brain, and it will get you centered. I like to have meditation music in my ears. I just go to YouTube, whatever meditation music I can find, put it in my ears in the morning. Do that. I feel good. I feel centered. So that's the very first preventative measure that I do in the morning. Okay. Number two, I have this thing called the 90-second rule. Every time something happens in my life that is frustrating, that is, for example, I got into a fight with Rueda. She said something that I did not like, or something happened. Ginger maybe knocked something off, or whatever the case may be. I am going to allow myself 90 seconds to be pissed about it. If I want to go off on Rueda, I'm going to allow myself, I shouldn't be going off on her, but if I do, I'm only going to allow myself 90 seconds, and that is it, right? Because the thing is, if you stay pissed about something, who's really dealing with that misery? It's you. If you're going to be pissed about something for 2 days, who's dealing with that misery? It's you. And you're also passing it along to people around you. Do they really want that? No. Do they need that? No. Do you want that? No. Do you need that? No. 90 seconds, then you shake it off, right? You gave yourself some time, you became mad, whatever you had to do, and then now move on. So that's the second thing. The third thing, what I like to do, is I like to keep exposure limited to negativity and to drama. So for example, last week I went to Iraq and there was some drama with my brother's family. I made sure that the exposure that I had to them was very limited. When I went there, I spent about half a day with them. I slept over the next morning. I left. And then the last day, we spent maybe a couple hours together, and that is it, right? Because I knew that there was going to be drama. When I go back to San Diego to visit my family, same thing. I know that there's going to be drama, so I limit my time. I schedule time when I'm going to go there, and I limit how long I'm going to spend with them because I know there's going to be a lot of drama that's going to come with the conversation that I'm going to have with them. So I limit myself to how much drama I expose myself to. Because what that does, what drama does, what negativity does, is sucks the life and the blood out of you. It brings your energy down. And when it brings your energy down, you can't function at the highest level that you need to function to, so that way you can perform at the highest levels. So I limit myself to drama and negativity. So 3 things. Number 1, morning meditation, about a 90-second breath work / meditation. Number 2, making sure that applying the 90-second rule. And number 3, making sure that you limit yourself to exposure. You limit exposure to drama and negativity, right? And literally just like, it's almost like a radio channel, right? How you like change the channel to move on to the next thing. Same here. If you see negativity, if you see drama, just change the channel. Remove yourself from the situation, from the room, from whatever, right? You don't want that. You don't need that, right? And what that does is it creates separation between, well, first, it reduces the amount of anxiety, the amount of stress that you will experience in your personal life, right? And then that, in turn, limits how much bad shit that you can bring to your professional life. But if and when you do feel that you are bringing things to your professional life, you want to deal with it on a personal level, and make sure that you don't bring it to the professional level, because if you do, not only are you going to hurt yourself and your business, but you're also going to hurt people around you, and you don't want to do that, because there's going to come a point where people around you are going to just feel like, I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. I don't want to deal with this person anymore. I don't want to, you might become part of the dramatic bucket that they want to limit exposure to, and you don't want to do that. Because what I've noticed is that there are two kinds of people in life. There's those that add value to you and those that subtract value from you, and your goal should be to spend as much time, add as many people to the bucket of people that add value to you and spend as much time with them, and then remove as many people from the bucket of those that subtract value from you and spend as little time as possible with them. And you don't want to be on people's bucket of value subtractors. You want to be on people's bucket of value adders, right? So that's the first thing that I want to talk about today. The second thing is, who here heard, and drop a yes in the chat or a comment or whatever, if you heard about Atlas. So Atlas is OpenAI's new, pretty much Google Chrome, right? I tried to download it to my phone, and because what I wanted to do really is share my screen and kind of go through that, but I don't even know how the hell to share a screen on this thing. Again, the way that I used to do Facebook Live has completely changed. Now it's like a whole dashboard and the whole thing. But Atlas is OpenAI's version of Google Chrome, right? So they launched it literally overnight, maybe over the last like 12 hours or so. And what's crazy is that Alphabet, which is the mothership, the parent company of Google, dropped in valuation by $150 billion, which is insane. Beautiful thing about it, I actually made a reel about it. It's on my page if you guys want to go check it out. Three beautiful things about this is, number one, obviously, everyone's competing, for AI. Everyone's competing to be the best. Everyone's competing to be the biggest. You see countries competing like China and USA. You see companies competing like, Elon Musk and OpenAI and all these companies. You see all this stuff, it's like an arms race. But the cool thing about OpenAI's kind of like Google Chrome, first it's still in beta version. Number one, you pretty much have a chat GPT as you are browsing the internet, right? So it's like you can ask it questions, you can get immediate answers, you can compare stuff. It's very cool. The second thing is it stores all of your data. How many here have gone through and researched stuff on Google, and then let's say 2 days later, you're like, what the hell was I looking for? And you can't find that in history. The third thing is it's got an agent component to it. So I don't know if you've been kind of looking into agentic AI or AI agents. It's not like when you give, it's not like ChatGPT. ChatGPT, you give it a prompt, it gives you an answer. AI agents, I'll give an example. Different between prompt AI and agentic AI or AI agents is like you go to ChatGPT and you say, hey, I want to take a trip to the Bahamas. What are 3 resorts that I should check? It'll tell you what the 3 resorts are. So that's like regular prompt AI, right? How we kind of know ChatGPT. Well, agentic AI or AI agents, you go to ChatGPT or your AI agent and you say, hey, I'm trying to take a vacation from this day to this day. I want you to go out there and find me the best resort, make a booking for me. Once you have that done, go book a flight for me. This is my budget. These are the things that I like. I'm going to be there for 3 nights. I want you to make me a reservation at these kinds of places for each night. I like to be at dinner between this time and that time. And it literally goes and creates the entire itinerary for you, right? So that's the difference between agentic AI or AI agents and kind of like prompt AI. And so the cool thing about Atlas is that it's got this thing available there for you, where it'll open, it'll open tabs for you. It'll go and research things for you and bring it over to you so that way you can look at it. And that's the cool thing, right? And again, that's going to be, I don't know if it will threaten Google, but I think it won't be the superpower like it has been anymore, right? And so the question that I have for you, and I'll kind of end the stream here, the question that I have for you is, you see AI all over. You see what's going on with AI. You see everything that is happening. The question that I have for you is, are you leveraging AI in your day-to-day right now? Are you actually using it to improve what you do? I know for me, we use it every day. I use it in probably every hour of every day. I use it in different components of my life. I use it in my health because I have kind of like a nutritionist. I literally use it every day to give me my macros and what I should eat and not eat. That's just one way. I use it every day in my business to help me with copy, I made a reel earlier today about Atlas AI, and that video has gone, I don't know, maybe like 10, 15,000 views on Instagram, and maybe another like few hundred or so, a couple thousand on Facebook. So in total, let me just tell you right now, if I can frickin' find it. There we go. So it has, okay, I can't see it here. I think on my phone maybe. Anyways, let's just say it's got about 15,000 views, right? Maybe it's got about 15,000 views. Well, the way that I created this video is that I went to ChatGPT and I said, hey, there's this thing about OpenAI creating Atlas. What can you tell me about it? It gave me the top 3 things. And then boom, I made a reel. And then I posted it and I got 15,000 views in the last few hours, right? So that's one way that I use it. Our marketing team uses it for copy, for design. They use it for a bunch of stuff. Our sales team, right, use it for scripts, for training. Let's see, our Impact Network, our affiliates use it for creating content, for responding to prospects, handling objections. Our Amazon students use it for, creating their listing, creating their photos, responding to their suppliers, negotiating with their suppliers. creating keywords, finding new keywords for their products. My God, I mean, we use it all the time. I know Rueda uses it all the time as well. So the question that I have for you is, how much, first of all, do you use AI in your day to day? How much do you use it, and what do you use it for? And is that enough? Or do you feel like you are skilled enough to actually implement AI in your day to day so that way you can become that much more valuable for society? Because at the end of the day, no one cares about your degree. No one cares about how many hours you work. No one cares about, how much money you have spent to get educated or whatever. The only thing people care about is what is the value that you provide to society, because your compensation is based on that. The more valuable you are to society, the more you are compensated. The question that I have for you is, your skill set right now, how valuable is that to society? And will AI replace you? Because let's say right now you cost your employer, let's just say $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month. Can your employer replace you with some type of an AI automation that will cost them maybe a few $100s? I know recently we replaced about 4 of our team members. We reduced our monthly labor cost by 9, 11, 16, about $18,000, and probably increased our AI tools by maybe like $300-400 a month. So we replaced 18,000 by about, let's say, $1,000, right? By leveraging some tools and stuff like that. That'll do the same job, and that'll do it better, because these AI tools don't ask for 6 days. 6 days, they work 24/7. They don't need to be managed and so on, right? And so the question that I have for you is, how valuable are you to your employer right now, to your business, to your customer? And are you leveraging AI to become more valuable, right? And if you're like, I want to, but I don't know where to start, on October 28th, next Tuesday, so today's Wednesday, next Tuesday in about 6 days, we're hosting a live workshop at 5 p.m. EST, where we'll show you exactly how to leverage AI, how to become valuable, and how to get paid between $500 to $2,000 helping small businesses in your local area become more efficient, and they cut you a check. That's per project. You can have many different projects per month. That's if you want to start a side hustle, if you want to start making money with AI but don't know where to start. We can also teach you, if you're like, I already have a business, I already kind of, I've got everything. I just want to know how AI can help me kind of become more efficient. We will also help you do that. We will help you become a certified AI business strategist, so that way you can kind of help both, or be valuable to both. Comment the word AI below, or just simply go to my, at the top of my Facebook profile, you'll see like a link. You can click on that, or other content pieces. You'll see some links there. Just click on those. Or if you can, just either DM me or comment below this video or something. Just comment the word AI or DM me the word AI, and I'll send you a link to register, okay? AI is here to stay, okay? Those of us that said the internet is a fad and it's a bubble and it'll burst in 1994, whenever that was, well, I'm communicating to you guys through the internet. Obviously, if we didn't have the internet, we wouldn't be here. I've generated $37 million in the last, 5-6 years through the internet, whether through my Amazon businesses, whether through BJK University, whether through other partnerships and other kind of things, right? And if it wasn't for the internet, I would not have become a millionaire. I wouldn't have cleared my debt. I wouldn't have retired my parents. I wouldn't have retired my wife. I wouldn't have been living on the beach, right, in Miami. I wouldn't have been able to travel to Iraq and spend 8 days and not worry about the business, right? So the same thing with AI right now. AI today, where we are right now, is like the internet was in the mid-late 90s, right? And so you're either going to ignore it, or you're going to pretend like it's a fad and it's going to go away, and then wake up 5 years from now and realize you fucked up, or you're going to say, no, I've fucked up once. I don't want to do it again. I want to be ahead of the curve, because trust me, we are way early. And I know sometimes it feels like you're late and you have kind of like the train has passed you by, but trust me, it is so early. 99.9% of people don't even know what they are doing with AI, and everyone is just trying to figure out as we go, because listen, it is moving so damn fast that no one even knows what the hell is going on, right? So you want to jump in right now, be equipped, so that way in 2-3 years from now, you'll be very well positioned to absolutely crush it. So drop AI below. Outside of that, if you have any questions, also drop them below. We'll be more than happy to answer. If you've got anything for me, feel free to message me. I Facebook is the one channel that I actually respond. Not all the content that I post is content that I post personally. A lot of it is stuff that my marketing team creates from Instagram and reposts to Facebook. But a lot of other stuff I post organically myself. But my DMs are cleared and managed by me personally. So if you need any help, feel free to drop them there. Comments, I try to get to them, but my account has been going viral lately, so I can't get to all the comments. But the DMs, I definitely my DMs, my inbox is pretty clean, so I keep that fairly clean. Cool. All right. Peace.